What's up, dog?
There's almost nothing more personal than how you express yourself.
And in California, everyone has something to say.
That peach is jacked up.
What you mean, fool?
Tight.
You're gonna like give him props and it's gonna be something sick.
In this last part of our journey, we'll travel the West Coast and explore an America that speaks many languages.
My grandpa cooked dinner every night. How do you code switch this into mainstream American English?
My grandpa cooks dinner every night.
And computers who only want to be understood.
Navigation menu.
Navigation address book.
Navigation menu.
Address book.
Pardon me?
It's like a...
Ripping, lasting good time.
So ask yourself,
Do I speak American?
Do you speak American?
Do you speak American?
Do you speak American?
You speak American, dog?
Do you speak American?
Tu parles américain?
¿Ustedes hablan American?
Do You Speak American has been made possible in part by the National Endowment for the Humanities, promoting excellence in the humanities. Additional funding is provided by the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation, the Ford Foundation, Rosalind P. Walter, and the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations.
In our previous episode of Do You Speak American, we looked at what's happening to Southern speech. The farther south and west you go, the stronger the influence of Spanish. Concerns about Spanish echo across the American Southwest, New Mexico, Arizona, Southern California, where we're going to continue this journey through American language. The first stop is LA. It's a bit far to drive, so we're going to fly. Spanish is just one of the language influences we'll look at as we follow the West Coast from LA to Seattle and ask, do you speak American? It's called Mex to the Max, and it's hosted by Patricia Lopez.
That's right, baby. I hope you guys are sitting down because we have an hour, a fun-filled hour for you guys. Tenemos el estreno de La Chica Sexy con los Tucanes de Tijuana esta noche.
Number 10 on 1, 7.
Patricia, known as Patty Longlegs, is the former fashion model who's now a VJ, that's video jockey, introducing Latino music and salsa videos on local TV.
My language is Spanglish. It's great because it's half English, half Spanish. And you know what time it is, baby. It's time for the emails, yes? All right, let's get started with the first email here on this segment. It says, estaba cambiando los canales y miré su programa y se me hizo muy interesante. I would like to ask you to play El Gavilán. Se llama Ricardo Cerda. Thanks and good luck. Love you always. That came from Angel. Oye, we have all these Latin people that are coming over to the States. And, I mean, we're everywhere. And we might not feel comfortable speaking English. Well, they should catch on to it. And we're putting it out there for them.
Why should they catch on to it?
Because it's going to be the second language of the States. Everyone speaks English. So they say, but you have a lot of Latinos that are coming over that, that don't speak it. My father's 72 years old and doesn't speak it because, that you can get by not speaking it here in the States. Yeah.
That's terrific. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Un beso. Mwah. Oh, no, I made him blush.
No, well, I blush easily.
All right, because right now we're going to go to Los Tucanes de Tijuana con su tema La Chica Sexy.
Okay.
So para todas las chicas sexy.
Count 3. All right. Go there, bring it full sound.
Y la chica se mueve sexy, y la chica se mueve rico, esa chica se mueve suave. chica se mueve sexy. Y la chica se mueve rico. Esa chica se mueve suave. Esa chica me sube el ritmo.
2 minutes.
Spanglish isn't the only Spanish-English hybrid. Carmen Fott is a linguist who's been studying Chicano, one of the street talks of Latino Los Angeles.
Chicano English is a dialect of English that grew out of the historical contact between English and Spanish in the Southwest. You get articles written that say Chicano English is just a step on the way to mastery of English, and that's not true at all. Chicano English is now its own vibrant, thriving dialect. It's not going anywhere. Luckily for me, because I do research on Chicano English.
Carmen did much of her research with high school kids with Spanish-speaking parents. She took us to a nearby park to hear some Chicano English.
Chris can't throw. He ain't nothing no more. Nothing on him.
Wanting the kids to be as relaxed as possible, we put radio mics on 2 of them. And then we and the camera are keeping well back.
Let's see.
So what's up, dog? What's cracking, dog? What's cracking tomorrow?
About the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Hey, what's up then? We gonna throw a party? What's up?
What girls you gonna have over there?
Man, the only thing I know that there's gonna be a bunch of primas.
What about the party you took Mark to?
What,
Mark
Southgate?
Ramirez, yeah, in Southgate.
That's his family, fool.
Nah, are you serious?
Yeah, there was a bunch of highness over there, dog.
Nah.
Highness on the ones that get la coger. So fine they were, dog.
In terms of slang items, when he asked him who's going to be at the party, is there going to be any hotness there?
Hotness?
Meaning, are there going to be any good-looking girls there?
I'm tired of talking to you, though.
I'm tired of talking to you, fool. It's been a while, though.
Also, the pitch, the intonation, you'll hear some of the syllables drawn out. What? What you mean, fool? Like that, those sorts of things. That's also very characteristic of Chicano English.
What about these fools? What do you think about these fools? You think they're going to grow up to be some real football players or what?
Man, that little short foot with cut off sleeves, that's my cousin, dog. He might probably be something.
The use of fool, for fool, as a term like man or guy, that's very common among kids who speak Chicano English of this age group. In fact, occasionally when I was doing field work and I was interviewing kids who spoke Chicano English, they would actually call me fool, just kind of slipping it in there the same way we might use man or guy. Yeah.
Keisha, dog. Keisha over there in Southgate, dog.
She's Mexican with a name like that?
Yeah, dog.
Serious? She speaks Spanish too?
Nah, she don't even speak no Spanish.
And they throw in the occasional word in Spanish, or?
Yes, and in fact, what's interesting is that many people believe that Chicano English is a Spanish accent, someone whose first language is Spanish and doesn't speak English well yet. But in fact, as we just heard, we heard Jesse speaking, and he doesn't in fact speak Spanish, only enough to throw in a few words, and those words actually tend to be taboo or swear words.
¿Qué? ¿De qué? No te entiendo, güey.
And it's still the classic pattern that the first generation born in the United States often will retain the home language. But by the second generation born here, the home language is very often lost. So I don't think Spanish is a threat to English in any way. I think, if anything, it's Spanish that's endangered and we might want to look out for it.
Pues después esperar. Adiós.
Like Carmen, other linguists believe Spanish is no more a threat to English than German or Italian, which once provoked similar fears.
Minutes before the hour, I am Shirley Strawberry, right here on the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Morning drive time in L.A. Early in 2003, Hispanic Americans passed African Americans to become the biggest minority.
We are a shake your booty radio station.
But with young Hispanics moving into English, will Spanish ever have the impact of African American English?
You won't believe this one, but guess what? It's another Common song. This is my man. This is from Electric Surgery.
Spread through rap, hip-hop, soul, and DJs like Steve Harvey, the Black English influence on mainstream American is profound.
right, here we go.
Do you speak American?
I speak good enough American. You know, I think there's variations of speaking American.
Sure.
I don't think there's any one set way because America is so diverse. So I don't think that there's a certain way to speak American. You know, man, Upward America is not my audience. My audience is mostly grassroots people. And I sound mostly like they uncle. So, see, like I said, I sound mostly like they uncle. And I was cool with that. That sounds good to me. Isn't. You know, isn't is not in my vocabulary. The word is ain't. Isn't requires my mouth to stretch in a way that it don't stretch. Isn't. And then I leave it out there too long, I look really stupid when, you know, he isn't telling the truth. I actually almost black out when I say that.
But what do you say to those people, like some of the people in the school system in L.A., who say that African-American kids need to learn standard English in order to get on in the world?
Well, you know, you do have to be bilingual in this country. And that means you can be very, very adept at slang, but you have to be adept at getting through a job interview.
The LA school system knows its minority students will need to be, in effect, bilingual. PS 100 in Watts is one of 60 schools using an experimental program called Academic English Mastery.
I need all groups to pay attention. Cloyd, I need your focus now. And Gerardo.
Daniel Russell uses a game of Jeopardy to teach his grade 5 class how to translate their home language into mainstream American.
Okay, here we go. My grandpa cooked dinner every night.
Third person singular. Cook. My grandpa cooks dinner every night.
Which linguistic feature is not in mainstream American English?
Third person singular.
Yes. And Marisol, how do you code switch this into mainstream American English?
My grandpa cooks dinner every night.
You just got 500 more points. He funny.
He is funny.
Okay, Ariel Baron, what's the answer?
He is funny.
He is funny? Excellent translation. Here we go. We don't have nothing to do. Okay, quiet please.
We don't have nothing to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is not, I'll wait. That is not an accurate translation in mainstream American English. So you're at minus 400. So let me roll. Let's see which team will have an opportunity to get it. I might roll you guys again. 1.
Anything. We don't have anything to do.
Excellent translation.
I think perhaps the biggest misunderstanding is the idea that we are somehow teaching African American language, teaching Ebonics, if you will. We don't need to teach African American language
because they come speaking
They
it.
already know it.
Yeah.
Our task is to help move them towards mastery of the language of school in its oral and written form, but to do that in a way where they are not devalued or where they feel denigrated in any way by virtue of their cultural and linguistic differences. Because when you begin to devalue youngsters and make them feel that who they are doesn't count, then we turn them off from education.
Last night, we baked cookies.
No, it's past tense. Past tense. I got it.
Are you ready? Okay, number 1, what language is it in?
AAL.
It is an African American language. Number 2, what linguistic feature is in AAL?
Past tense marker, ED.
Past tense marker ED, that's 2. And how do you code switch it into mainstream American English?
Last night we baked cookies.
You got 500 more points. Is it too easy or I just taught you well this year?
Students in the program show significant gains in written English. Those behind it believe that unless more teachers treat home language as sympathetically, they'll condemn more generations to school failure. language remains a formidable frontier in the legacy of slavery. Three helicopters overhead, and there's a police roadblock up here. In any other big city, you'd think it was a crime scene or an act of terrorism or a bomb scare or something, but this is Los Angeles, the beginning of Beverly Hills here, and this is a big night for the movie industry, the Golden Globe Awards.
Nicole Kidman.
Movies, TV, and the music industry help to spread new language.
The nominees for Best Actor.
And because the stars live in Hollywood and Hollywood's in California, California English gets an extra boost. The next morning, I'm in Beverly Hills to meet the movie writer and director, Amy Heckerling. Though she herself comes from the Bronx, she puts a lot of California slang into her scripts. Amy even compiled her own dictionary for her most famous movie and the TV series that followed it, Clueless. We noticed looking over your shoulder a minute ago that you had a page for expressions that are for good, something is good and some for bad. Would you read us from each of those pages?
Swiss flavor butter, Coolio smooth, super, money, nails, tits, as in it's the tits, fion, like fine, broken up into a bunch of syllables, kickin', juice, keen, funky, monster, proper, rad, noble, wicked, tubular, trippy, stoked, rules, rocks, stellar, tasty, sweet.
How about bad? Page for bad.
This could go on forever. Random, heinous, cheesy, blows, bites, bogus, bunk, bricked, bum, bum deal, bunk, busted, bug, chicken, dreaded, drip, wretched, clueless, sucks, the classic. And whenever young actors came in, I would always say, what do you say for good, for bad?
Amy's movie, Clueless, achieved iconic status and introduced California teen slang to the rest of America.
Ew, get off of me. As if.
Nice stems.
Thanks. Whatever. That was the first that I was gonna ride. Did I miss something? You stick your hair back? That I still wanna close, I'll find the time. This is raisin. Let's do a lap before you commit your location. You clear the storyline. That's happy in the end. Like the neighbor promises, so certainly uncertain. I can't wait to set things straight before they close the curtain one day. Hello. Survey set? I thought it reeked. I believe that was your designer imposter perfume.
Clueless satirizes California mores and teen talk. Winnie Holtzman aimed for naturalism in the cult TV series My So-Called Life, in which she chronicled teenage angst. She often writes in this coffee shop.
A lot of the waitresses would be around 17, 18, and I would hear them discussing certain things that I just would write down. Yeah, I'd like a Diet Pepsi.
I'll have an iced tea, please.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You said you were trying to put yourself inside the head of teenagers, one of which you used to be.
Well, I think it just, it's like I said, it's a biological time. I mean, biologically, everything in you is telling you to move on, to move away, to grow up, and to leave behind the things of childhood.
Tell us your thoughts about why they create their own language, teenagers.
I think it's perfectly natural. At that point, your peer group becomes incredibly important to you. Your little tribe of friends becomes your new family. And you need to have, everything symbolizes that. Everything, the clothes you wear, the way you speak. And I think people, language is, there's almost nothing more personal than how you express yourself.
a small soda, please.
I'm curious to find out how California teenage slang has moved on since the early 90s, when Clueless and My So-Called Life were first released. So I'm in Irvine, south of LA, to meet a bunch of teens from the local high school, whom I can call, as we all seem to these days, you guys. Do you guys still say so, not, whatever?
Yes. Yeah, Clueless, because, like, now I'm, like, permanently, like messed up because like I say like and dude every other word because of that movie. It's horrible.
You can't get it out. You can't get Clueless out of your system. Is that?
I saw it once.
It became kind of like a culture trend, sort of. So like a lot of kids started saying it, and then people would do the, how do you do the whatevers?
Whatever, moron. Get the picture. You're a total loser.
Hey, could I ask you some expressions and ask you what they mean? Tight.
Tight.
How do you say it?
Tight.
Is it about appearance?
Oh, like if you got a new car and it's really nice to say my new car is tight, you know.
Uber.
You can be an Uber nerd, or it's like super nerd, or Uber anything.
Fob.
Asians who came to America not too recently.
Like when you speak and you still have an accent, like your English is still kind of fobby.
Word.
Like, I agree.
Word.
How do you say it?
That test was so hard.
Word.
Meaning?
I agree.
Oh, the other person says word.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
That test was so hard.
Yeah.
Word. What's up?
What's up, girl? What do they do?
Yeah.
A lot of like those kinds of things come from like the rap and the rap music, as you hear them sort of like, oh my peeps and y'all, yo.
Guys always like they're walking and they see another guy, they're like, hey, sup?
The middle seat and the back seat, like it's bitch seat, like you're sort of like the bitch, like, you know, like you're my bitch, you know, sort of like that. But we use bitch like, dude, you're my bitch, you know, or oh, so and so's gonna be my bitch for like homecoming
Like
or whatever.
prison, you know.
I made that test my bitch.
You nailed that test and like you aced it, or you did really well on it.
You still say it.
Many people across the country are familiar with the California dialect from movies like Clueless. It includes some shifts in the sound system. So, for example, one of the things I've studied is ooh fronting. Words that have ooh in them in California English are often pronounced very close to the front of the mouth. So the word do might be pronounced more like do. I do. Oh, very good. That's it. I do. And also words with o, go. I'm going to go. Yes, that's also common.
Put those together in some sentences that sound like California.
You're going to go? Oh, my God. You like him? You really do? I'm totally surprised. I do, too, though.
And is that growing, or is that just a passing thing that we recognized as Valley Girl or whatever it was called 20 years ago?
Oh, no. I can hear these features in radio announcers now, my age or older, on TV. It's definitely, the California dialect is here to stay. It's not just a passing fad.
What are some of your favorite examples of that?
Of California?
Of California, yeah.
I like I'm all. I think that's a very good one, to be all something as a quotative, introducing quoted speech. So I'm all, I don't think I'm going to go, and he's all, I think you should. And I'm all, why? And he's all, because it'll be fun. And I'm all, I don't think so, etc.
Something occurred to me. Do men speak Valley Girl?
Ah, that's such a good question. And it's one I wanted to explore. Men speak surfer dude.
Surfer dude?
Yes.
Dude, that was gnarly. That peak just jacked up so quick, there was no way, man. I got thrown without lip. Couldn't even get to my feet.
Surfer dudes and surfing slang have had a seminal effect on California speech.
Dude, I sunk my inside rail on that turn, man. That was lame.
So much new language is generated by the California culture of being extremely energetic in the sun. Where better to start than Ventura County and Surfers Point, and the place where many surfers hang out, the Badass Cafe. In the 1960s, the Beach Boys were the first to put surf slang into hit songs like Surfin' Safari. Hi.
Hi there.
I've come to the Badass Cafe to meet someone who lives to surf.
You busy? Not too much today.
The surf's too good?
Surf's too good, for sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
George Plomerty has qualified as a paralegal, but he prefers to work here at the Badass.
Okay. Be $3, please.
Yes. What he earns here pays for his passion, to surf. When he finishes work, George agrees to take me for a ride in his classic Volkswagen minibus and show me world-famous Rincon Point.
I've had this car about 7 months now.
Oh, really? You haven't had it since 1970?
No. I haven't even been alive since 1970. I was only born in 75.
Right. Oh, God. California speech seems to be having a growing influence on mainstream American.
When we get out to Rincon, you'll see the point actually comes all the way into here before it ends. These little guys are surfing a spot called The Wall.
Yeah.
It's a fun little surf spot. That single fin's gonna kill it. This is gonna be great.
I want to know if surf slang is still shaping California speech.
Wow, there's a lot of people in the water. Look at that great wave that guy is still going on. He's gonna set up for a little barrel on the inside.
20 years ago, for our TV series The Story of English, we filmed a rock band called the Surf Punks.
Straight drops on both sides. It's super gnarly.
I started by showing George a clip from our old film. I think it'll interest you.
So, Mark, what did you do today? Well, I got this new stick and I was cranking on some radical tube.
Oh, yeah, sure. How big was it?
It was radically overhead, man.
I'll give it up. This is take 2. Life's a beach.
That's great.
So check it out, dude. I was cruising the beach yesterday. And the waves, they were totally cranking. It was really hot.
These certain words find their way into the whole language, and some of it's pretty off the wall. In surfing, when the wave curls over, and that's like the tube or the pocket. So if you're in the tube, you're taking the highest risk, and you're very rad. I saw this chick, and she had a totally tight bod, and she was totally buff, and that means that she is in shape, and she's clean, and she's looking good.
Well, some guys wearing some rad outfit just go, wow, man, that's rad. That's pretty gnarly. I mean,
Cooking.
look at this. We all got the same watches, but totally rad.
Way rad. Way rad.
Fully rad.
So is that stuff still current?
Yeah, I think it is. Those words are all used and definitely find their way into vernacular speech. You hear everyone describing things as rad, or as people being like hot or truly radical. A lot of those phrases that came out in the early 80s got co-opted. They got taken over by some corporate people that used them to schlag t-shirts to the max. That's a wonderful example of something that was taken by Pepsi in the 80s, and just hoard until it's not usable.
What are some of the new expressions?
Full on. Full on's a great example. Off the wall, he uses that. That's another phrase you hear a lot, Or right on, or fully, or
fat.
That was fat, like a fat air. That's fat, with a PH.
Fat. And fat air means going off the wave in the air.
Exactly, and being really high. Surfers themselves have just moved into the mainstream of the culture, and that's why their expressions are headed in that direction. We have a lot of people that are professionals that go out and surf in the morning, get as crazy as they can and really push themselves to their limits, and then take a shower and go to the law office. And they're going to carry over that language with them, and a great example of that would be the phrase caught inside. You hear that all over the place in describing any situation where you suddenly have to try and deal with a whole lot of stuff coming at you at the same moment.
It seems that surf slang remains as vigorous and inventive as ever. Listen to George describe the perfect ride.
Waves break in sections. So you can talk about wow, that first section was sick. That drop was really heavy, made that bottom turn, came around, went through that mushy part, and then it just jacked on that second bowl. Got that floater, came into the inside, and just cracked that lip as hard as I could. Set up for that barrel, and just right out into Greenland, man. Sick.
But, yeah, that's very interesting. Have you done any writing on the language, Charles?